What is up, guys? It is JammyDude1, and today I am going to be reviewing a game I haven't played in years. But in light of it recently getting a PC port, I thought it would be an appropriate time to take a look at The Blob. The Blob is a 3D platformer that was originally made by 8 students in the Netherlands and was a free downloadable PC game released in 2006. Publisher THQ found the game at the time and were impressed by it, and they proceeded to gain the rights to The Blob to create a fully fledged game out of it. The Blob we have today was developed by Blue Tongue Entertainment in 2008 for the Wii, and by Universomo for iOS, with the Wii version being massively superior from what I've seen. However, as I implied earlier, it recently received a PC version, thankfully based on the Wii version, with the port being handled by Blitworks. As I also implied earlier, I have played this game before, but it was a very long time ago. In fact, I never owned a copy of the game. I would only get to play it at a friend's house, but I do have fond memories of playing it. So when I heard the news that it was coming to PC, I was over the moon, and now it's finally here, and I have it. But is the game as good as I remember it? And how is it on PC? Well, let's get into the game and find out. So, there are actually 3 main game types to choose from in The Blob, including Story, Free Paint, and Blob Party. This video is mostly going to be focused on the Story mode, so let's get into that right now. All you really need to know about the plot is that the city, known as Chroma City, has been invaded by the Inked Corporation, that's INKT, and has had all of the colour drained from, well, pretty much everything there, including the inhabitants known as Radians, and it is up to you, playing as The Blob, to team up with other Blob people to rescue Chroma City from Inked, and to restore colour to, well, pretty much everything there, including, okay, I won't repeat myself. So, what do you actually do in The Blob, gameplay-wise? Throughout the story, you go through various locations within Chroma City, and you have to build up colour energy from paint bots that are scattered around. These paint bots contain a specific colour, either red, blue, or yellow. And yes, you can mix them to create other colours for use. While you have this colour energy, The Blob will be able to go to different parts of the area and paint things like buildings, walls, platforms, even the Radiant citizens who have been trapped in specific buildings. But every time you paint something, you lose a little bit of your colour energy, so it would probably be worthwhile to keep an eye on the meter. That may sound fairly simple, but there's actually quite a bit to do. For example, there are short timed challenges that often require a particular colour to succeed, such as painting certain buildings red. Also, at the beginning of the level, players can choose the mood of The Blob, and this can actually affect the game, because as you paint more and more of the area, music will actually start to creep in, and it will be reflective of the chosen mood. Funky and Righteous are just 2 examples. It's also worth mentioning that the music is awesome, at least to me. You can also collect style pickups in the level, which add different patterns to painted entities, which are also reflective of the chosen mood. Occasionally, The Blob will come across transform engines, which, when activated, bring back colour to a specific area that cannot be restored by normal means. There are also environmental hazards to look out for, including water, which will remove any colour The Blob has and will cause your colour energy to slowly deplete, or ink, which will cause you to lose colour energy at a faster rate. Each mission does have a time limit, but you can increase the amount of time you have by progressing through the level and completing challenges. Once you have completed the regular mission within the level, you unlock additional, more fast-paced bonus levels, which only contain 1 objective, similar to challenges in the story missions, but these are absolutely more difficult. Before I continue any further, let's get some essential information out of the way. How is this game on a technical level? In 1 word, amazing. In multiple words, I absolutely love the visual style. The designers did a great job, in my opinion, of representing the idea of restoring colour to a colourless place. The environments, when colourless, look dull and kind of depressing, but once the colour comes into play, it looks stunning. There's also a lot of fairly impressive effects for the time, and for me, it ran flawlessly at 60 frames per second. Definitely well optimised. For a platformer, controls are a huge factor. You need precise and easy to use controls, and the Blob offers this for the most part. Using a controller, the Blob feels really good to play, apart from the camera control, which I will get onto in a moment. In my time playing this game, I mostly used an Xbox 360 controller, but I did use the keyboard and mouse briefly, and all I have to say regarding controls is that this game was definitely designed with controllers in mind. I personally didn't really like the keyboard controls whatsoever, and notice how I didn't say mouse that time, because, to be honest, when I tried to use the mouse, it just didn't work well for me. I don't know if it's a glitch, or if that's actually how it works, but the camera doesn't stop moving until you bring it back to the center. Moving the mouse to the left or the right makes the camera move constantly. Even if I stopped the mouse while turning, the camera kept going. This was not a problem for me using the controller, but it definitely was with the mouse. You can set certain keys to be used for camera control though on the keyboard, which I would definitely recommend if you are using a keyboard. Speaking of which, let's get on to a couple of minor issues I have with the Blob. If I'm going to be honest, I can personally overlook the problems this game has, but I feel like they need bringing up in case they are an issue for other people. First of all, there are barely any in-game options. To gain access to, well, proper settings, you have to go through a launcher, but even then, the options are fairly bare bones. While it is nice that you can rebind all the keys, what isn't nice is that there are 3 graphics options, including quality, anti-aliasing, and full screen. For quality, you have the choice between low, medium, and high. And for the other 2, it's either yes or no. The options in-game are also bare bones. You have 2 audio sliders, the ability to invert the camera and change the sensitivity of it, and finally, you can disable help. Another flaw I found that I kind of hinted at earlier was with the camera. No matter what control method I used, the camera felt sort of unresponsive, sluggish, and sometimes annoying when trying to position it to my liking. It is something I think should be addressed, but I can personally overlook it as I found the automatic camera that follows the Blob around by itself to be fine. Before we wrap up the video, there are a few more things I'd like to discuss. As you progress through the game, you can unlock extra features, including cutscenes from the story, bonus movies, including a pre-production trailer for the Blob, which is not actually that different to the final game, as well as a gallery, where you can unlock artwork for the game. Finally, there are the 2 other modes, which I will briefly discuss now. First up, we have Free Play, which allows you to revisit the main story levels, but without the story elements, without the challenges, and even without the time limit. You get to just explore the place at your own pace, and it's a surprisingly enjoyable and relaxing experience. And then, there's Blob Party, which is presumably some sort of local multiplayer mode, and unfortunately, I can't say anything about it, since I've never played it before on the Wii, and I don't have anyone to play it with on the PC now. But it does seem like you can use a controller and the keyboard at the same time for different players, which is quite nice to see. So, in answer to the questions I raised at the beginning of the video, yes, the Blob is absolutely as good as I remember it. And for the most part, it's really good on PC, apart from the disappointing options and camera issues. So, should you buy it? If you're intrigued by what you've seen of the game so far, then I would say that you should definitely give it a go when you can. As of this video, the game is currently 25% off until the 14th of May. Otherwise, the game would cost about £18 in the UK, or $20 US. If you're watching this video before May the 4th, I would say that it is worth it. If not, then I would wait for a sale, but it is definitely worth checking out as soon as you can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really had a lot of fun making it and being able to finally talk about this wonderful game. If you've ever played the Blob, whatever platform you've played it on, feel free to let me know what you thought in the comments. I've been Gemini1, and I will see you next time. Bye!